Hi everybody, Elisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Today I know it's Wednesday, but I was going to talk about a vintage bag rather than wait till Thursday for Throwback Thursday, just because I'm going little stir crazy. I mean, I always work from home, so I am used to the idea of self quarantining. But I'm officially on day 3 of an official self quarantine because I just came back from New York City where I brought my dad a stockpile of food because he's elderly. And I'm sure everyone's been watching the coronavirus coverage 24/7, and you've probably heard that they are requesting that if you came back recently, if you recently came out of New York City, you should self quarantine for 14 days. Although, all right, well, I'm not going to talk politics here, so I'll just bite my tongue. But I do think it's a little, there are a number of other hot spots as well, not just New York City. Although New York City right now, because of its dense population, of course, is going to be high. The counts are going to be high, and also because Governor Cuomo, who is the man, is really on top of things and was very proactive in getting all the testing rolling. So the numbers are going to be higher because of the testing. Um, anyway, love that man. Um, I do think there are other places that people, if they're going to require self quarantining when you come out of New York City, they should require it coming out of a bunch of other places as well. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, rather than wait until tomorrow, also because I don't know what my workload is going to be, it is a little heavy, but I do like to do these videos because I am getting some feedback that people appreciate them because it takes their mind off of things, and I totally get that. I've been spending a lot of time on YouTube, actually, watching like the Carol Burnett show and Chris Martin's Together at Home. I recommend that. He's just very sweet and obviously so talented. Anyway, so I thought I would talk about this vintage bag because I probably won't get to do Throwback Thursday. So it's Throwback Thursday on Wednesday. Work with me, people. And this is a Paddy. I love the Paddy. I have a few videos on various Paddies, I think. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I haven't done so many videos. I've been acquiring Paddies. So it feels like I've done videos on them, but I probably haven't done videos on them all. Note to self, do Paddy videos. But this is one that I wanted for a long time, and it was a long time coming because I've been finding this is a challenging pattern to find in good condition. And this is Ming. And I also thought I would compare it to the Mandy because I do get a lot of people asking me questions about how the Paddy compares to the Mandy. And I do have a comparison video of them already. And I can put a link to that below. But it never hurts to do it again. And, what the hell else am I going to do with my time other than work? So Ming was a pattern from fall 2001. And it's a pattern that I have wanted for a long time because I love anything with Asian influences. And what I was finding was that stuff would come up, but it always was very worn, or or it was an item I wasn't interested in, like a backpack or a super large, tote. But also, there's a certain style of tote, and I feel like I've only seen it done in Ming and Animal Kingdom. So just a large tote, trim up at the top edge, and on one side, the pattern is right side up, and on the other side, it's upside down. I've never seen these bags in person, so I don't know. I'm assuming it's just made from one piece of fabric, sort of wrapped around, and that's how the pattern on one side is upside down. But that's, to me, on such a big item, that's completely unacceptable. So when there's an obvious, you know, right side up, when you have figures that are going to be upside down on a whole big half of a bag, I mean, that doesn't look good. So that was very frustrating for me. I would always see those totes, and I would see the first picture and everything is right side up, and then I would click on the second picture and everything was upside down. I said, oh, all right, forget this. So I stopped looking at those totes, and I started to focus on the Villager and the Paddy. But I didn't really want this in a Villager because the Villager does have that other band of trim on the bottom, and I'm not, the trim on this is not my favorite part. The trim, is sort of like a bamboo lattice kind of pattern. So, it goes, but it's just not that visually interesting to me. For me, the real interest here was on the figures. Sorry, it's a little gray here today, so the lighting is not ideal, but it's giving you a good idea. I mean, it's pretty accurate. And I got very fixated on these two figures in the boat, with the little canopy. Looks like a bimini canopy there, almost, like you'd see. For some reason, I got fixated on those particular figures, and I wanted them somewhat prominent, in a good spot. And so when I saw this one with it on the front pocket, I immediately got interested, and then I noticed it was here, and I think it's over here. I don't think it's on the back anywhere. So I was pleased, and this is in good condition. Interestingly, though, while there's no wear on the top, there's no wear on the handles, and the color is still vivid. I mean, it's not faded at all. Oddly, so you feel like, okay, this bag wasn't really used that much, but oddly, there are little wear spots, which I didn't notice. This bag was photographed very well, and the corners were shown, but I didn't, I'm doing my crazy middle of the night eBay buying sometimes when I can't sleep, and my eyes are tired, and I'm not really paying full attention. Not the recipe for the greatest outcome. So this corner, they have just these tiny little wear holes. And so what I'm going to do is just put a little fabric glue. I've had success doing that on one or two other items that I found little wear holes on, where I just put a little bit of fabric glue that dries clear. I got at Joann's. And I just let it dry, and it sort of forms a seal. And I've also used that on like holes on like other things, not non-Vera fabric items, and it goes through the wash fine. I've washed those things, so I should be fine. I mean, it's not like I have so much Vera. It's not like I'm going to be using this every day, so I don't envision it being a problem. What I also, when I got the pattern, finally got it in my hands, I realized there's this, where is it now? There's this like deer figure in the pattern. And it has, it's not a solid color. It's sort of green with little red flecks in it. You can see the antlers there. And when I saw that, I thought, ooh, maybe I would have wanted that more front and center. Too late now. But it is on the back as well. But I think that's a really nice part of the pattern too. There it is. And then you can see other human figures. And the foliage, of course, is really lovely. And it's a great, very pretty color scheme. The red is a very like rosy, deep, almost like a deep pink azalea kind of color. It's not real red. It's got a pink kind of feel to it. The blue is a very nice sort of soft, almost like a shaker blue. It's just very, very nice, soft palette, but yet vivid, right? Because they've got all the colors pop well on the black. Um, so anyway, and I feel like yes, it's vintage looking, but there's something sort of modern about the pattern as well. It holds up, especially depending on how you dress. Like I've said about other patterns, if you dress more traditionally, sort of conservative or whatever, the bag is going to look a little bit more dated. Whereas if you dress a little bit more youthful, um, it's going to modernize the bag. So, anyway, so now for specifics on the Paddy and how it compares to the Mandy, which I have here, which I don't like. So I should say that. I mean, they are very close, but the slight difference makes all the difference to me. And I love the Paddy. I don't like the Mandy, and I don't buy it anymore. I have two. This is the factory version. This is Nomadic Floral. So it's a retired factory pattern, but I think it is an interesting pattern. I'm on the fence about whether I should save this just to have it or sell it. Still haven't made a decision yet, but it is a strong graphic, interesting pattern and an interesting palette. That vivid orange is great. It's luscious, and it works really well with the gray. So I do think this is very nice. My favorite part of this pattern is the spray of leaves here. I do think right now, unless it's sold out, there were a few items in the current online outlet sale in this pattern. I think there was a medium cosmetic. I was looking at that, but I think somewhere my my Vera stash, I think I already have that, so I resisted. But if anyone is interested, there were a few items in the current online outlet sale in this pattern. So I guess I can just put this on, and then I can sit down and do other measurements and stuff. It's just so people can see, you know, how it looks. So, you know, right off the bat, you know, I'm sure people are thinking, oh yeah, she likes her bags up high. If you've seen some of my videos, you know, I like my bags up high, and so this is nice. You know, I like the way this fits. This also up high, but a little bit lower, as you can see. This to me has more of a, it's a little bit long, higher. It has more height, a little bit more height to it than this. This has more of an east-west kind of oblong, narrow shape, and that's what I don't like about this. It's not deep enough for me, and I feel like it's sticking out too much in the east-west direction, just for my taste. This, I feel like, because it has more height, that east-west aspect isn't as pronounced. So it's just that slight difference in proportion that makes a difference for me. And I will measure the base and stuff, because the base on this may be slightly differently. The dimensions on the base might be slightly different, and that might also be making a bit of a difference. Ooh, this dog's on the floor. A dog. Okay, so strap drop on this, and this has nice padded, quilted straps. So comfortable. What I do find sometimes about the Paddy is, I wonder if it happens on this one. I think it does. I have a Paddy in Chanticleer, which I have done a video on, and the same thing happened here. The straps are different, different lengths. See that? This one is almost looks like an inch or two longer. And that is frustrating when that happens. It's almost like they were hand constructed or something. But not all my Paddies are like that, so I don't think it's intentional. And that's a little frustrating for me. And it's something you can't really tell from the photos, even when they're good about showing the straps. And some of these sellers probably don't use Vera. They're just, selling used things. That's their business. And so they're not as expert, on Vera. They're not as hyper focused on Vera. I said the strap drop is about 11, between 10 and 11. The top opening, and it is one of those bigger, hard to see because it's black, but it's one of those bigger, toothier plastic zippers. Works well. And the zipper pull is fabric that matches the trim. So that's nice. And this top opening is 15. Peaches, will you please stop licking? Oh, God. You people out there have dogs. I know that annoying licking sound, right? Am I right, people? The top on this is also 15. The strap drop on this, Mandy, 11. Okay, and the exterior feature, Peaches, you're kind of in my foot spot. I have to remember, I can't leave my tape measure near the puppy because she will chew it. Happened the last time I did that. Now I have no. She chewed there was a little plastic, like handle pull thing at the tip of this, and she chewed it right off. Okay. Exterior slip pocket on the front, and nothing on the back. And inside there are 6 quilted slip pockets, which are nice, and they're in the exterior fabric. If I empty it out, I can show that. So, very basic. Nothing fancy about this bag. A real basic small tote. And the base, which is removable, I'll pull out the base. It's in a sleeve that's also removable. This would be 10 by 5. 10 by 5 is the base on this. On this, the base is, I can tell just by looking, the base is different. And that's making a difference in the overall shape of the bag, proportions of the bag. 4.5 by 12. So that's a big difference, and I think that's part of what I'm reacting to with this bag. It doesn't have as much thickness to it from front to back, and that, so it's just a thinner bag. That's how I would describe it. It's just thinner. It's thinner and more east-west. It does have a removable base that's in a sleeve in here that doesn't come out, but you can see there's cardboard and it slips out. I haven't washed this particular one, but I wouldn't hesitate to, because they have that base that comes out. That's telling me, I can throw this in the washer. This also has an exterior pocket, sort of more hidden, and I do like that, and it's deep. Peaches, please. Dogs. So I do like that feature, especially because it doesn't interrupt the pattern, because the opening is so close to the top, that top border. You can see there's a seam that sort of curves across the top. It's sort of distinctive to the Mandy. That's often how you can really identify a Mandy. Even the older vintage Mandys have that seaming there on both sides. You can see it. In the back of this, nothing, no pocket or anything. Inside, and it's that sort of nylon lining, 6 slip pockets, just like in the Paddy. Maybe hard to see, but they're there. 3 on each side. And so that's just your basics, And the height. I didn't do the heights of either of these bags. 9. So the top was 15. It's 9 high, tapering to 12, like we said, 12. This one from top to bottom, let's see. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. 10. So it's just that little bit, that extra inch. It's just really contributing to the difference for me. So I get all my regular stuff in here, even though it is a smaller tote. It's good for when you want a smaller tote. I don't always want to be lugging around a Vera tote. Do love the Vera tote. Really gotten on board with it recently. But you don't always want, or need such a big bag. And so, but I do get basics of what I need in here. I don't have my GPS in here right now, but I have put my GPS in here. It works fine. Might be a little hard to see stuff because of the black, but interior, but what are you going to do? So I have my usual in a slip pocket, one of the center slip pockets. I have Carson cell phone crossbody. This is Mickey's Whimsical Paisley. I think that there might be a new Disney pattern release coming out tomorrow. I mean, that's what there's been chatter in the Vera groups that I'm in about that. I don't know if they're keeping to that schedule with the coronavirus or what. But anyway, do like this pattern. I have a video on this item and other items I ordered. I can put a link. This one, I had to order these, obviously, because I'm not in Florida, and I couldn't get to the store at the Disney Springs. Is that what it is? Disney Springs store? I'm not sure what it's called. I had to order this, and so this was good pattern placement. And I love the lining on this pattern, but I have talked about that with the little Mickey-shaped balloons. So I have that in there. And I have my iPad mini, slips right in. But the wallet I'm using right now, all-in-one crossbody in Winter Palace, the Dillard's pattern. A good pattern placement on that. I feel like it kind of goes, black background, pattern with a black background, figures on it of some kind. My zip IDs and lanyards for photos that I'm always talking about. And something new for the coronavirus age is this velvet cosmetic pouch, Berry Mary, that I'm using for latex gloves. And I'm liking it because I can, like I said in my previous video at my dad's, it sort of it sits up nice in the bag, sort of nested among other things. Doesn't have to be put in this way. It can be put in this way, and it stays upright. And then I can just leave it open a little bit and reach in and pull out a glove when I need it. Just wondering how long we're going to be carrying stuff like this around now. The new normal. And so inside, sorry for the darkness because it's tough with the black, but you can see that the slip pockets, there are 6 of them, and they are made from, see if I can sort of turn this more inside out. They are made from the exterior fabric. They're quilted, more quilted fabric, just like the exterior. And then the base is cardboard in this removable sleeve of the same fabric. This bag didn't come with the original piece of cardboard. This is not the original cardboard. So at some point I may replace it with a piece of styrofoam board, which I like a little bit better. But it's okay for now. So I can hold this piece of fabric up a bit, let people see the pattern again. And so I did wash this, because this has this removable base. Obviously, I just removed it and I threw this sleeve, this fabric sleeve, and the bag and the washer went through fine. I did a gentle cycle for the longest setting though, and like the grimiest. Setting it for the grimiest and the longest rinse and everything. I don't do a short setting, and the bags go through fine. I mean, I want them clean, and I use my detergent, but I also use about a half a cup of distilled white vinegar to get up any residue that might be in the fabric from prior cleanings, you know. So you can see that figure there. There's a figure there sitting over there. This was a standing figure. There's a fishing figure somewhere in here. Here are two figures over there together. Or together. Yeah, here's the fishing. He's fishing, this seated figure. So there's a fish. It's like a big koi. I just love it. I think it's very delicate. Even the top of the canopy or the boat has a little pattern in it. So I just love all the little delicate flowers. Really? Chewing on my bag. You're really lucky that you didn't get too far. Oh my God, you'd have been witnessing the death of a puppy. You stay off of Mommy's Vera, okay? It's a good thing you're so cute. Chew on that. Chew on that, love muffin. Okay. Also think that these are pretty. These leaves. Also nice. Another little pretty flower there. This yellow. There we go. So I was just very pleased to find something in Ming in good condition and a style that I wanted. Very happy with that. Again, just slightly, like I said, slightly different. I mean, it's hard to make the case that they're so different because they're really not that different. But to me, they are very different. They just look very, when I hold them up together, they look the same. The Mandy, I should mention, has a recessed zipper. This is not a recessed zipper, but it's only slightly recessed. Just a slight recess, like an inch maybe. But when like the measurements, do say there's a difference, and it's just that slight difference makes a world of difference for me. Okay. Oh, you can sort of see it when I hold them up like that. I'm not totally out of my mind. Only partially out of my mind. So I do really prefer this, and I won't be buying any more of this, even though, it's a nice looking bag and it shows off a pattern well. When I'm in the factory outlet store and I see a pattern I like, I do look at the bag, but I know I'm not going to use it. So I always resist. So that was my Throwback Thursday on Wednesday feature. I don't expect that to become a popular hashtag anytime soon. But I hope that, this gave people a little coronavirus distraction here on day 3 of my self-quarantine. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.